2 weeks ago, I was in Japan and I went to Osaka. I was just walking around with some friends and we met these girls, and they're like 22, 23, one from Canada, one from the US. We're just, joking around, having a good time. And then eventually I hear one of the girls say, Trump and JD Vance need to die.
What?
Top of her lungs. We're like walking around Osaka. She says it once. I'm like, what is going on? She says it again. I don't know if it was after that second time or the third time that I confronted her about it. Not aggressively, but it's like, hey, we're like, what's going on here? And I made a joke about, do you hate men? Or like, well, you hate Republicans? What's going on here exactly? All of a sudden, the conversation devolved into a conversation about abortion. Now, my position is like yours. I think it's just untenable for women to not have the right to choose. I think an abortion is always a tragedy, though, and I would like to see women choosing to have abortions much less. 93%, at least 93% of abortions are not medically necessary. It's just a choice. And I get why women make the choice. It can be scary to bring a child into the world. I think many men are abandoning their duty of helping to protect and to provide. I understand why women do it. And it's always a tragedy regardless of the reason. They were not, of course, not able to listen to me, and they kept on trying to yell me down. Eventually, I keep explaining, hey, I'm just pro choosing life. I'm not telling you shouldn't have the right to choose. I'm just saying men and women need to work together so we have fewer abortions. I sidelined with one of the women. The other one was having nothing to do with me at that point. I sidelined with one of the women, and she tells me at age 8, her mom told her that she almost aborted her.
Wow.
This woman had just argued vehemently for abortion while telling me that her mom had almost not brought her into this world. And when I pointed out the contradiction, she tried to justify it. It's like, well, it would have been the right choice if my mom chose to make it. It's like,
so I'm sorry to break into the video at this point. I just want to react to the things that have been said so far. These are the kinds of insane ideologies that are being promoted by Hollywood, mainstream media, leftist political groups. They talk about how they are the party of peace and love and joy. And people who lean heavily into those ideas tend to be people who espouse violence as a solution when they don't get their way. A political process went on in the United States. A president and vice president were elected, and then someone decides that because this person doesn't support their position on the subject of abortion, they need to be removed. And I don't mean voted out. You heard what he said, she said. And we see the left-leaning individuals everywhere responding with violence every time they don't get their way. We see unruly behaviors on the streets of Washington and everywhere else in the United States, protesting and trying to make it seem like the world is coming to an end simply because someone else from a different party who doesn't toe the globalist line was elected. And then anyone who supports him gets their businesses torched. It is amazing that people can actually hold these belief systems and with a straight face say that is the right thing to do, and then turn around and say that they are the party of love, peace, and joy. Let me know in the comments section, okay, if the way I see this rubs you the wrong way, or what I think is correct. Because if you are actually the party of peace and love and joy, the people who support your ideologies should exude love and peace and joy, and shouldn't be calling for people to be eliminated in the middle of the street. Shouldn't be burning down Tesla charging stations and dealerships. Shouldn't be attacking people who support the opposite party physically. And when an engagement in conversation is initiated, you take off and say, I don't want to have anything to do with you, because you know your argument makes no sense. And like Tim Pool always says, It's a cult.
Sorry, I'm not going to buy into the delusion that any world in which you don't exist is a better world. That's insane.
Especially for that person to say of themselves.
Exactly.
So self-loathing, frankly.
Exactly. But this is what's happening to young women. Young women, look, women are 2 times more likely to be anxious than men. Women are more susceptible to psychological manipulation.
Yeah.
That's okay, because women have other things that they're good at relative to men. I don't want a man taking care of my child in daycare. I want a woman doing that.
Yeah.
But it used to be that men and women worked together. Men could protect women from these dangerous, toxic ideas. But now it's like, yeah, go be a boss, babe. You can just, you don't need a man. Go work, climb the corporate ladder. Then they realize they don't even want to do that when they're age 30. And yeah, birth control, which they're taking from the time that they get a period, is distorting who they're even attracted to. So they're not attracted to masculine men anymore. And it's teaching women that having a child is the end of your life, when no, it's the beginning of another. So yeah, there's this very insidious thing that's going on with this. It's like, it's a thing behind wokeism, which is extinctionism, really, in my mind.
Wow. This, I parenting is a calling. Parenting is in my opinion, the highest calling anyone could ever have. Forget about being the president of a country. Forget about working at the United Nations. Forget about all the trappings and all the achievements people say they want to achieve. Being a parent, bringing another life into the world and nurturing that person to become a constructive member of the society is a high calling. And for a group of people to make it seem like entering into that high calling is the end of your life, I'll say it's demonic, because you're being driven away from something that will fulfill you, that will give you all the joy and all the love. My kids love me unconditionally. Yeah, they do. And sometimes when I've had a hard day, all I have to do is just sit and watch my kids. And it's almost like healing. If you're a parent and you felt that way, leave a comment in the comment section. And there are people who just want to prevent as many people as possible from feeling that joy, from feeling that healing. And that's why there's so much, disruption and distortion in the world today. Someone says, oh, but how about this guy or that guy whose parents treated them badly? Those are fringe cases. Those are fringe cases. There is no parent who is normal who would abuse their kids, who would beat their kids within an inch of their lives. There's no parent who would behave that way. So it's heartbreaking to find these kinds of narratives circulating and being promoted. My heart is right now, it's cut because like he said, they were under 25, I think. These are young women who have their lives in front of them, and somewhere along the line, someone created this idea that is setting them up for a life full of sadness and depression. And you know who they're going to blame? They will blame one other man. They will blame people. They will blame God, but they won't blame the people who gave them these ideologies. Let me know what you think of my reaction to this video. I got really passionate about this because it cuts really close to home as a parent, hearing these things and hearing the kinds of lies that these people believe, and then they begin to act the way they do. It is really infuriating. I am infuriated. I am upset. I am saddened. I don't know how to feel. Let me know if you feel the same way, or if you think I'm just full of it in the comment section. But please be nice and come with facts. See you on the next video.